Peace, y'all. It's your boy Rhythm Phoenix. Just showing you my wall in the back in my bedroom here, above my vision. The true vision is above the television. But yeah, just letting you know a couple things here that I represent. If you just take a glance at all of this and understand, as I mentally pour water and libations to the deities right now as I start this, understand that this is where I'm at, this is where I'm coming from, this is the level of consciousness that I'm resonating with, and sometimes things do not come out as easily or as clearly as you want them to, especially when dealing with people who are just getting into the knowledge, right? I'm heading to my living room so I can sit down and begin my little talk with y'all real quick. And so it gets a little hectic when you are around the quote unquote dead ones, the mains, right? You read Ancient Egypt, Light of the World by Gerald Massey. We understand what the mains are, the dead ones, and the physical reality. And so, just today, I just wanted to basically do a little freelance, because I'm going to be doing this a lot, I think. I kind of enjoy doing it. It's kind of healing to me, and it's exercising to me. And it helps me, even if nobody is paying attention, even if nobody's watching, which I kind of doubt that. There's always somebody watching, you know what I'm saying? As they say, the watchmans of the towers and shit like that. There's always somebody watching. Because, the tower that they are in, it's the motherfuckers like me. It's the people who are out here in their nahast state or their awakening state that are tearing down the towers. You know what I'm saying? Has nothing to do with the World Trade. We're talking about spiritual workings and the ascension of the spirit within and without. And it shows in the weather, in the moods of man and woman, in the conscious awareness that's going on out here in the world. You know what I'm saying? From all the way from the black to the Asians to the over there to the Caucasians over there in the UK and in Europe, and they finding all this information on Stonehenge, and a lot of them claim to say that the Neanderthals just weren't barbarous people. They were actually harmonious with the number 7 and things like that were important to them. I tend to not really have found any true evidence on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give the Neanderthals benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? Me being the fact that I have no Neanderthal DNA in me, and basically almost all Caucasians they know this now, have that Neanderthal gene in them, and most of the African descendants or descendants with the African features, Afu Raka features, don't have that in their blood, and they were wiped out, around the last ice age, and people are claiming to say that they were either into this knowledge or builders of certain places like the Stonehenge and Easter Island and shit like that. It's just ain't nothing but a bunch of bull, because the thing is that they know now that it's in their DNA. They know now that they extinct, basically, the Neanderthals. And so if that's the case, and they carry particular and specific and a couple of DNA traits that the Neanderthals carry, like the blonde hair situation, and this dealt with the climatic change and where they were living and things like that, until things changed, and they ran into Cro-Magnon, and Cro-Magnon wiped them out, according to particular science and scholarship work that they out here doing. I don't believe everything that science is. See, the thing about science, you know, science is supposed to come from sentientness, and that's exactly what a Homo sapien is. A Homo sapien is a sentient entity, and this is the knowledge and awareness of self-existence. You know what I'm saying? The consciousness of self and things like that, and you know, this whole thing dealing with the cerebral cortex and everything like that. And so that's what that's dealing with. Now, you know, there were many things that I was talking about in the last video, dealing with DNA, pro-melanin, growing up on the chromosomes and things like that, and having actual functions, actually doing something, and not adhering to this bullshit about the junk DNA and things like that. It is my opinion that this junk DNA is actually something way more than what they are teaching us. And I believe that it's all scattered in the ancient texts, the ancient religions, the ancient landscapes and civilizations of the world. You know what I mean? Now, I wanted to talk about a lot of things, but you know, sometimes you just don't know where to begin. You know what I'm saying? But you know, one of my first videos was dealing with sleep paralysis and dreams and things like that, and the dream world and things like that. And I had read a book by C.W. Ledbetter, and I think it was entitled Dreams. Hopefully you can Google this, or you can type in his name and then put dreams in it, and then a book will pop up with that. Because what happened was, I went to Pittsburgh last November, I think, and had all my stuff in there, my backup drive, my laptop, and we had a rental car, and my wife had her wallet and stuff in there like that, and somebody jacked it, and you know, it tore us up, and we wasn't able to find our stuff, and we're about to go to court for that. And here in a couple of weeks, we got to go to Pittsburgh and deal with that shit, and hopefully we might get something back. You know what I mean? But as I come to you in this 11th hour of the morning, right, I wanted to speak about a dream or two that I had of Michael Jackson. Now, Michael Jackson, okay, to I guess the majority of the people who are not in tune to the spirituality of things, is now deceased, and he died in 2009. And what we dealing with is the fact that dreams are more than what science tells you they are. Okay. Things happen to me in my dream world that changed my life. So there are things about certain aspects of dreams that are more of a reality than this life that we living in. And so basically what I did a bunch of notes on Michael Jackson, as far as like he was receiving death threats, you know what I'm saying? He was going through all kind of shit. He died on June 25th, 2009, supposedly of a heart attack. That's how they knock out a lot of the people. They knock them out with either some type of relationship to the heart, the brain, like an aneurysm and things like that, or supposed self-inflicted wounds or hangings and shit. You know, that's how they do it. You know what I'm saying? When I say they, I'm referring to the elite forces who work and run and operate through the elite groups who are in this physical reality that we live in, trying to keep us down and trying to keep us buried and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Almost buried alive. You know, you think of, like I said, with Phil Valentine, Grave and Gravity, buried alive. It's like, oh, you because you're the spirit on this planet and you're living and you're alive, right? But you can't do the stuff that spirit shows you within your imagination, within your first eye, and all these things that you would love to do on this earth. You know what I'm saying? And you are trapped by limitations. And the most supreme physical limitation, all you gotta do is jump and you'll know. It's gravity, you see? And so gravity is like, you know, synonymous with the spirit being trapped into a particular grave. Because for the spirit, there is no gravity. There is no space. There is no time. You know, none of that. There's only spirit. Spirit is everywhere. Therefore, it really cannot even... It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And within spirit, all things are. All right? So, that's what it is. You know what I mean? So, the dream that I had about Michael Jackson, right? Let me see. I want to do the first dream. The first dream that I had of Michael Jackson, this was around the time that he had passed. Strange, because I'm doing this and my wife bought a action little figure, bobblehead of Michael Jackson about 4 months ago, and she put it over here by this counter here, and I don't know who done this, but he looking dead at me right now. So it's kind of, that's what you call synchronicity. There's a book by David Wilcock called The Synchronicity Key. And I have a picture of Michael Jackson right up here with the Dangerous album, if you see that right there. Because on the Dangerous album, he has a lot of subliminal images trying to get you to wake up to what he was trying to tell us. I'll just show you real quick. Okay, show you real quick. Sorry for the shaking and stuff. All right, take it off the case. You know, it's the Dangerous album. All right. And I always thought that this dog-looking thing on the back here was representative of Michael Jackson in some form or fashion. Of course, we have a dog with a blonde wig and everything, but we also have the feet, the brown feet over here. So, you know, in the simple fact that it is a dog on a throne, it reminds me of Anubis or Anpu, right? The ancient, and right here is Michael Jackson's glove. I'm sorry if you cannot see it. It's on the wand. It's on the waz, or the wand. The ancient Kemetic word was called the waz. And he has this robe. You know, this is clearly Michael Jackson in disguise, in another actual reality of some sort. You know what I'm saying? That's all that it's dealing with. But clearly what he's doing, he's showing you, you know, that's amazing. He's showing you, you know, another reality. He's showing you another reality of who he is. You know what I'm saying? I'm so sorry if it's blurry. He's showing you another reality, another realm. And you know what I'm saying? And like I said, the ancient Egyptians used to, or they made their deities with, you know, anamorphic or animal heads. You know what I'm saying? And it represented the nature of that deity, and that nature of that deity never changes, because it represents that it's at that nature. Just like accordingly, niggas, black people of the day, you can go all around the world. We have our own nature. You know what I'm saying? The way that our voice box, the way we speak, everything. If the way we speak is so different from other people, you know what I mean? From the Mexicans to the Indo-Europeans to the Europeans over here and the Spaniards in the days and all that, our voice, the way we are, the sound of our voice, you know it's a black person, right? So if that's true, then think about the stuff like, you know, you got smell, hearing, sight, right? Feeling, which is touch, you know, touch, and then you have the speaking, the speech, you know, you can, you know, talking and shit, and tasting. These have to, if the voice is different, then I bet the way that we hear and shit like that is probably different as well. You see what I'm saying? That's referring to all this HD shit and they coming out with, and three-dimensional movies and things like that, 3D printing and shit they coming out with, you know. But on the cover, it's not gonna look good, I guess, you know. Beautiful cover. He's right here. This is him. Over here, there's no telling who this could be. It could be Elizabeth. Who knows? Because that was his close friend. And all this crazy stuff happening, and this out here with him behind the mask, of course. And, you know, this is almost like his mouth, but I'll leave that alone. But, and this is a real person. I forgot his name. And then on top of the dude's head is a real person. He's like this carnival midget. He's real too. And then we have the little black boy holding the ancient dinosaur head. within Michael Jackson's hand, and in his hand, the palm of his hand is the world. So Michael Jackson has the palm of the world in his hands. This shit right here goes inside. This is a roller coaster ride with Little Mike in there, and then he's coming out. He's going in on one side, coming out on the other. He's right here. He's the first one. You can't see this stuff, so I'm sorry. But just real quick, the album was called Dangerous, and the only place he put the word dangerous was in this area right here, which is shaped kind of like a heart with two pillars. Dangerous. They've taken over your heart. The world is being sucked by industrialization, and on this little thing right here, this beltway is drugs. You know what I'm saying? Drugs, guns, skull and bones. You know, basically, you know, and then this industrial world. What you got to do is Google Dangerous album cover Michael Jackson and study it and look at it, and you'll see that he was on his thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can just talk about so much stuff, but the dream that I had of Michael Jackson, right? The first one, okay, this is what happened, and I wrote this stuff down in my dream book somewhere. I'm this little boy basically, and it just blended into itself, like it just started happening. You know what I mean? It didn't have a starting. It didn't have a start to it, but it kind of had an ending. And I just run into this realm of this dream world. And I'm a little boy, and I'm in this place that is a mixture of all the type of places that I've been in as a young dude, from age, I guess, 16 on down to, like, you know, 7 or 8 or 9. Because it had school rooms. It was, and this happened before, and I'm gonna tell you another dream where it happened. But anyway, this big old just arena of just, I guess it was like a scenery that was built by the dream world. I don't know, you know, whatever, and we in it. So what I end up sensing in the dream is that I am actually here to save Michael. It's 11:11. Boom. It's 11:11, y'all. All right. 11:11. My sun and moon represent the 2 dots between 11:11. Shout out to all my 11ers out there. It's 11:11. Just turned 11:12. Sometimes, you know, next time maybe we'll be able to meditate together if I do this. And now maybe I do it on purpose just so when it comes to 11:11 we'll be able to do a little meditation on 11:11. Anyway, so in the dream I have a sense of feeling of I'm supposed to help Michael Jackson escape, right? But from who? I don't know. All of a sudden when I'm in this dream world, and Michael Jackson is right beside me, and we're running up the steps, and all of a sudden the class lets out, right? Classes lets out, the bell rings, and all the kids are coming outside while I'm actually trying to help Michael escape from who? We're about to find out. So we're running through the school. All of a sudden we go through this door, and I'm like, this way, Mike, and we're in this place that looks like the YMCA swimming pool that I used to go to when I was little. And we're getting chased by these, I ain't gonna lie to you, by these white people in suits that look like Men in Black motherfuckers, y'all. And this is in my dream. And then all of a sudden, we end up outside, right? And outside, I see the building that I was in. It's like a big-ass school building. But clearly, it was more than that, because it had mad scenes of different buildings in my childhood, from the school to the YMCA to, like, a library building. Just all these things just mixed up. And then we outside, and it's like a damn desert. So we're like in the middle of a damn desert, you know what I'm saying? And the wind is blowing, and I'm looking at Mike like, yeah, Mike, I got you out, Mike. We free. We made it out, and then let's go. I don't know where the hell we're going. It's a desert. Now Michael Jackson has on this, like, almost like he's matching the Men in Black outfit, and we do know that he was in one of the movies Men in Black. So he got this like white shirt, black. You know, like you would see him in almost in a Billie Jean fashion. He's the kind of bleached Mike, and he has a ponytail that's like unraveling, and his hair is starting to blow in the wind. And I'm like, and he has glasses on. Like when he got older and he started to read at the press conferences, he would wear glasses. He had those glasses on, and he looks up behind me, and I'm like, what's wrong, Mike? It's like a fucking movie. It's beautiful, and I loved it. I didn't want to leave it. And he looks up, and man, all kind of helicopters and tanks Army, FBI, I mean CIA, just you name it, in my dream, just popping up everywhere, cornering us basically. And it's almost as if I turn into just an observer, and I'm not even there anymore. Like my body is. I don't even know. Because what happened was this. I'm still standing there or whatever. I'm in front of my awareness is in front of Michael Jackson. Here come the government. Here come the CIA, FBI, DEA, and all these motherfuckers. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? And what he's telling me in some type of, mind to mind language, he says, they're trying to clone me. They're trying to clone me. And I'm sitting here like, what? You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here like, what? And so what ended up happening is they capture Michael and they end up cloning him, right? They end up cloning him. This is like happening in some type of phase in my dream. It's strange. I can't understand. I can't really explain it. So, and then I end up in the same position. The clone ends up in the same position as he was in when he was being cornered by the government, and we're back at that scene again, right? After this cloning process, basically, they didn't already cloned him. And so I'm saying, after he's saying basically they didn't clone me, and I'm thinking about they cloning you, and then all this stuff is happening in a whole other phase of the dream that he's actually being cloned. He's already been caught and shit. And then we're set back in this scenery in the desert with this building, and that we just ran out of. And he says, they trying to clone me or something. So what ends up happening is that Michael Jackson that was there wasn't there, the real one, and this is the clone who's now saying, okay, yeah, they trying to clone me. And then all of a sudden he turns into he looked like a damn Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan. He does this and he does this, and he begins some type of fight with these motherfuckers to where basically he ends up winning, and that's the end of the damn dream. That's the end of the damn dream. So I woke up. I took that more of just a regular dream for a while, right? Until the second dream that I had. This all was like around 2010, 2011 and shit, right? This was after he had passed. All right, the second dream I have, I'm on this building. We in the city. I'm on top of this building. It's me, Michael Jackson. He's looking like the way you make me feel, Michael Jackson, okay? And he is, and we are like having a party. It's like I've known him all my life. My Aunt Angie is there. My mother is there. A couple of my siblings and my mother, my friends are there. But I just, for some reason, remember a lot my Aunt Angie, my mom, a couple other people being there, and then me and Mike being there talking like we like close friends like this. So he's sitting beside me on these lawn chairs, and we on top of the building and looking at the skyscrapers, and it's nighttime. It's like, Billie Jean nighttime and shit. You know what I'm saying? This is real. But we looking at the cities and shit. You know what I mean? It's looking like Gotham City or something. And so I'm sitting in the seat just like I am right now. Michael's sitting right here. And I'm looking at Mike, and I'm like, man, it's just so beautiful to be here, Mike. And it's just so amazing to be here, Mike. And it's amazing it's been 23 minutes. And he says, he gets up, right? He gets up like this, and he's looking at me. And he says, yeah. He says, this is me without the silicon. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? So when he said that, I started looking around, and nobody else heard it. And he got up, walked around, and then I woke up. You know what I'm saying? That's all I know. But I know that and then I wrote it down because I had to write it down. It was one of the craziest dreams I've ever had in my life. And I was like, what? I went around walking around telling my wife about this shit, my son, everybody. Yo, man. And then I just said, you know what? I got to look up what dreams are. This is just not. How is it possible for these things to happen in such a fashion? So, man, I started studying dreams and every damn thing, getting books on them and every damn thing. And, I'm just kind of in a blur on what I was reading. I've read so many articles, everything on dreams. And my conclusion after doing all my research has come to be that dreams are another type of realm or reality. Like in my father's house, there are many mansions, right? So it's another way of the psyche or the soul in the spirit world, spirit realm, spirit has many realities. The material world is really a spiritual world. It's just very, very low vibration. And so we're like set in stone and shit. And that's why out of the 12 apostles, Peter becomes the rock or the stone, you know what I'm saying? And then in the philosophical circles, you have this saying, the stone that the builders refuse and things like that, you know what I'm saying? It's just a whole lot of stuff on that. But, you know, I was just amazed because, number one, I never even used the word silicon. SILICON. I started Googling the word. I found out that it's derived. There's a Silicon Valley, okay, first of all, California. And I really, it seems to me that there's a lot of technology there and that there's actually a lot, and this is real life after me doing my research on, you know, from dreams and shit, and then relating to Michael Jackson's, my last dream with the Michael Jackson thing. And it's a lot of plastic surgeons out there, right? Got a lot of technology, you know what I'm saying? So, I thought about that. I said, wow, it's really strange. And he's saying, this is me without the silicon. Okay, and then the fact that a little bit after that dream, maybe a month and a half or so, a show called Silicon Valley came out. No, maybe longer than that after the dream, maybe a year or something. And this is after I started studying and finding out silicon is basically what they make, you know, computer chips and all this crazy shit out of. So I said, well, damn, man, you know, this is freaking me out because Michael Jackson coming to me. Okay, a show called Silicon Valley, comedy show, comes on either Showtime or HBO. I'm sorry, but it's a funny, weird looking show, and there's an Indian guy in there. You know what I'm saying, who's actually doing more things than all the other actors in the show at this time. He's in other type of shows and shit that's coming out. I think he's in a show that's coming out with your boy from Key and Peele, who just finished their last season on Comedy Central, and they're going to start doing new things. And I forgot his name, but he's like some type of Indian actor / comedian. So, and the show's called Silicon Valley. It just blew me away, you know, that it came out. And I'm like, well, you know, then I thought about Valley. You know, the Valley of Silicon, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, spirit talks to you in so many ways that, you know, it's up to you and your consciousness to decipher it and take it. And, you know, you experience this language, this information coming, you know, within and out. And it's just crazy. Synchronicity, you know what I mean? It's the whole thing dealing with the 11:11 thing, you know, and it's just amazing that I am actually experiencing this along with other people around the world. And so, you know, leave it to you to understand the fact that, you know, the first dream I had, Michael Jackson basically was telling me that they cloned him. The second dream I had, Michael Jackson basically telling me this is me without the silicon. Okay, and that there's also a crazy ass couple of videos on YouTube about Michael Jackson having a twin, right? You just have to, I guess, maybe go on YouTube and type in Michael Jackson twin, and there's a dude. I'm not saying I'm just saying this was part of my research. I was looking into all these things, right? And he's showing pictures of Michael Jackson when he was little, and there's pictures of him without the mole on his left side, and with the mole on the left side, which he had removed, I think, before Off the Wall or Thriller around that time. So they say. So that was very strange to me. But he goes on to talk about how the doppelganger clone of Michael, or the twin of Michael that nobody never knew about, was actually going out here, and he was the one that was doing all the dangling the babies. He was the one that was doing all the plastic surgery and all this type of stuff. And the other Michael, who was so gone and so messed up about the whole situation, because the other Michael, whether clone or twin, was taking over his whole career, his whole life and shit. And he was the one that was doing all of the, you know, positive speeches and things like that, and you know, when he was speaking live to people. And that the other Michael, the drugged up Michael or whatever, was the one who was making himself look crazy and weird in the public, you know, jumping on the car, dancing, doing the court trial and everything like that. You know, it's just so much shit. But that's just for you to go follow. I'm just telling you about the dreams that I had, and about how you know, it's said that in my dreams, it's saying that, you know, they cloned me, and then in a world where it's party time, and my, you know, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm living for a specific aspect of my soul's journey, while I'm in between incarnations, whether I incarnate again or not or whatever. This is where I'm at. I have a good time here. You can come here and holler at me whenever you want to. Just get your shit right. You know, try to, you know, cleanse yourself out a little bit before you want to have these experiences and things like that. And then, you know, you go into your dream where you ask yourself to remember your dreams and do these things like that. And it literally helps. You know what I mean? I've had dreams of deceased relatives coming to me. You know what I'm saying? And these have changed my life. I researched this, and people have experienced this all over the world. You know what I mean? It's the same dreams that I have experienced. One woman experienced, she had a dream that I think it was her mother came to her, you know, gave her a big, humongous hug that is inexpressible in this reality, and that she carried that on into her waking state, and it changed her life. Well, that happened to me at least 3 times. At least 3 times. You know what I'm saying? The first dream being with my brother. I had 2 dreams of my brother coming to me. He was 16 years old when he passed. About a year or so after that, I had one dream he came to me, and then I don't even know if I should share the dream or not. I don't know if I should. Maybe I will when I get to the topic of expressing to y'all what I believe Nabiru means. Which Leonard King, in his translation and alliteration of the Enuma Elish, says that Jupiter is Nabiru, and it has nothing to do with an actual planet, the 10th planet, the planet X coming in. Not saying that there's not a planet like that, but just saying that Nabiru represents a encoding aspect of some type of coming back of a consciousness into the people of the world, into their souls, so their souls can awaken and basically become and live within the human body, and, you know, eradicate the ego to bring about a better world and a better environment for the soul and spirit to exist in. And this represents that Christ consciousness thing. So what's one of the most ancient symbols for the Christ? The cross, the crux. Even the word crux or crush has the letter X in it, right? And this has in the Mexican language has the ch sound. You know what I'm saying? Mexico, and it has the letter was a symbol for land. A derivative, I think it's called a determinative in the ancient hieroglyphic language, that meant this is where, like, Tamare, and then there was the symbol with a circle and then an X in it, and it represented a landmass. You see what I'm saying? Not only that, when you put your finger on top of the pyramid in Giza and flatten it, you get none other than the sign of the Knights Templar and the holy, what they call that holy cross. That, you know what I mean? So, and then we also know that the Great Pyramid was the place where the shamanic initiations, referring to this book right here, the shamanic initiations were brought forth. And you know, with this book, I got this book from the Edgar Cayce store in Virginia Beach when I went, and I got this book here too that I've been reading. This is an Edgar Cayce reading. They have a whole research center down there that I recommend everyone go to. I think it's in between 66th and 67th Street off of Atlantic Avenue in Virginia Beach. You know, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. It has 3 floors, a beautiful meditation room, and it's just amazing. So the Great Pyramid was a place for, and you can, you know, get this book to understand it, for these initiating rituals, to have the pharaoh understand that he's supposed to represent the mediator between this reality and the spiritual world, where all the ancestors go, where all the deities are, where all the creative forces or the children of God or Nectar are. Okay. And it's just a whole lot. So when we're dealing with Nabiru and Abiru and Khabiru, Kabir represents the flaming deities, right? Khabir. Ibir is where they say they get the word Hebrew from. Okay, and Abiru. Now Ibir, you got Ibiru, and then the letter N. You got Ibir, and you got Nibiru. So then you have Hebrew. You got Hebrew, Hebrew. Hebrew means those who have crossed over. That's what it means. Don't believe what I'm telling you. As we go to the 35th, 36th minute of this talk, don't believe what I'm telling you. Study it yourself. Hebrew means those who crossed over. Now, there's one book called The Secret in the Bible by Tony Bushby. He talks about how there were the ones who left Kemet or Egypt and used to sit outside in a particular area outside of the land of Egypt or Kemet, the black land, land of the Kims, land of the blacks, and looked at the insignias that rose above the limestone covered pyramid, which had its capstone on it, and from the sun rays and from whatever other things they might have done out there, that you would see different types of colors and you would see different types of images that look like flames, or they would represent the flame of the sun as the solar rays giving you particular images, and these shapes represented the fire letters or the fire language, which we now know today to be the Hebrew. And I one day wrote down the whole Hebrew, all the words, all the letters and their meanings. It's called the Aleph Bet. And it's there's a book called the Hebrew Lexicon, and you could Google it, type in free PDF, and you could probably get it for free, download it for free. And the Hebrew Lexicon will break it down to you how the modern Hebrew today is derived from Phoenician and ancient Akkadian, Chaldean letters. And we already know that those people were ancient Kemites who were particular military sects and everything like that used to have to go out or willingly went out to other lands to see what was going on, or to get some trade with other people, whatever. And so though that's where the letters are coming from those fire letters that those ancient Kemetic priests, who were then called the Abiru or the Ibr or the Kabir, which there's a mythology dealing with the Kabir and the seven flames, okay, which are in tune to the seven rishis of the ancient Hindu deities, which referred to none other than the body of the Great Bear, or the Ursa Major constellation that changes the seasons, and we're dealing with the seven chakras. But on another end, we are dealing with the Hebrew, and we're dealing with a spiritual aspect too, because whoever is experiencing higher levels of consciousness in this day and age, right? Okay, that is symbolized by the return of the Christ consciousness. It's been happening since, I would say it's been happening since crack been out. You know what I'm saying? And on and on and on up to that. Helly Bob, the comets that's coming that come and go, the different alignments of the planets that come and go, and of course the 2012. They was talking about 2012 in the early 90s, and this is now 2015, and so many things have happened. I was born in 82. I am a living example of this consciousness. No matter who you think I am in a physical body, human being, judging me for my transgressions and my trials and things like that. That's why the ancient Kemetic priests and the ancient priests after them left such incantations and invocations and things like that, so you can talk to to God within, or to the creative force within, or to the one within, or to the one, you know what I mean, through the many aspects of it, which were the deities, the gods and goddesses, the principalities of the cosmic forces of the cosmos, which is the logos, which is representative as that begotten son in the mythological symbolization of the esoteric wisdom. You see? And that son is none other than the awakening of the conscious state. Let me see. In one book, this Muwatta Ashby, the Kemetic Tree of Life. In this book, it is called, if I didn't rip out the paper and hang it up somewhere, it is called Nahast. Okay? It is called Nahast, and that means awakening. Okay? Let me see here. It also tells you how the word netter means divinity, how the word shita'ut means secret or hidden, which is where the amen or amun comes from. So if you don't say amun, you can say the shita'ut. You know what I'm saying? And shita or shet or sut is one of the most ancient names for that which is hidden, that primordial deity that they have taken and flip-flopped it inside out to call the devil. When it is not the devil, it is nothing more than likely but the aspect of what we know as the guardian angel. Okay? And I have a book called The Angel in the Abyss by J.T. Gunther, who is part of the AA organization. And we are dealing with a coming aware of consciousness. And this angel in the abyss is out here waking people up and, carrying them over the threshold of higher consciousness and higher conscious vibrations. Giving them the choice to experience new realities and realms while they are still in the physical fleshy body that they are trapped in. All this, and it's all happening now, and that, like I tell you in other videos, is one of the main reasons that the people are attacking you. They don't want to see this stuff like this in people's house, on their walls, waking them up every day. You see what I'm saying? You see how I told you a minute ago how Michael Jackson on the Dangerous album, he had the world as the map of the world in his hands, with the black boy holding the dinosaur head or the crocodile head. Crocodile head represents, in the ancient Kemite, Sebek, and Sebek represented the 8th of the 7 primordial aspects of nature, and the substance that actually sucks in that energy, sucks in them solar rays and transforms them, and that represents melanin. So Sebek, which is the crocodile-headed deity in ancient Kemet, is none other than an aspect of melanin. He's also an aspect of none other than this Christian concoction of this Jesus the Christ formula that they've created. You know what I'm saying? The only reason he has blonde hair and white eyes, and what they call a white skin, is because that's a symbolization of the solar rays and the purity, the robe that is put on the soul. The soul does not have no, it does not have that physical, body. You know what I mean? The physical body is its vehicle. The reason that the physical body is shaded and has it is because the soul's energy, as the sun out here, transforms the melanin on the biggest organ of your body, known as the skin, which you are in. That's why when you say sin, you falling into sin, it represents that you've fallen into the skin, and the letter in the skin, which is the letter K, represents the Ka body. So the Ka, as coming through the skin as melanin, represents you, represents your coat, your bodily coat, but it represents a symbological aspect of your protection as you walk upon this earth, by this funny as it may sound, by this melanin deity. You know what I mean? The word mel, it means black, literally. And that's the name for what they call the human with the genitalia on the exterior, the penis and the scrotum sac. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call the mel. And there was an actual ancient deity in ancient Kemet called Min, right? His M-I-N. You can Google that. If not, and if you don't believe me, I mean, you know, it's everywhere. It's, you know what I mean? I mean, it's in the word Amen. You know what I mean? It's in the word Amen. So, could I find the deity Min? Now, Min, okay, see Menu, okay, 88, page 88. 88 is a key number. Like I just said, 88 was Sebek. All right. So that's where they get the word menu. I don't want to freak y'all out, but they used to eat our ancestors because they, you know, first of all, the melanin on the skin, second of all, the melanin that was within, who a lot of people didn't believe existed until science gave them the proof that, yeah, we do have neuromelanin. We do have melanin within our endocrine system, within our central nervous system, within our sexual, within and on our sexual organs, outlining the colon. I mean, melanin is everywhere. Now, one of the most extreme aspects and points of melanin, represented by the black dot, which represents, you know what I mean, the pineal gland and the eye of Heru, is none other than the pupil. Every entity on this planet, especially that has the ability to see the 7 rays, right, or the body of light, which they call today the Jesus Christos, the 7 rays of light, the solar Christos, right, Roy G. Biv. Okay, Roy G. Biv. That's what those circles right here represent. They represent that body. That's the creation body, right? That is the one who they want to personify as the creator of the world, but it is not. It is almost as if it is like the reasoning factor for existence, so something can experience itself in what all this shit is. And that's why light comes to be. Darkness say, let there be light, or God said, let there be light, and then there was light. Before light, there was the damn darkness. But here is Menu with the 2 plumes on top of his head, and he has the raised resurrection or raised erection, okay? And he is in the word minute and minute. They used to always remember when Missy Elliott came out with the song 1 Minute Man. So min represents the one. Min also is in the word minute. And then ut or uta is representative of a land sector, right? So it's just all connected. We still speak in that language. Here you go, crocodile-headed, most ancient divine deity, Ta'aret. This is where they even get the word God from. See, this deity is called Theoris or Theoris, right? Represented the realization of growth and prosperity. Portrayed as an upright hippopotamus and pendulous breasts, lion's paws, and crocodile's tail. Human terms, Ta'aret is the patron of women in pregnancy, childbirth, and afterbirth. She represents much more than our common understanding of a midwife. It just goes on to tell you her principality and who she is. In her form of Apet or Apit, Ta'aret plays a crucial role in the largest temple in Egypt, namely known as Karnak Temple Complex at Ta'apet. This is none other than Thebes, or the Temple of Luxor, or Luxor, or Luxor, or Luxor. The ancient Egyptian name for the Karnak Temple itself is Apet Sut. That goes back to what I just told you, right? Apet Sut. This book right here, okay, I told you the other day, it's called Egyptian Divinities. The All Who Are the One. The all, I like the subtitle, the all who are the one. Because that all represents that many who are really just none other than the one. There's no debate that there was only the one. You know what I'm saying? You know, so get that shit out the way. You know what I'm saying? But back to Menu, who you can compare to Manu in the Hindu text, right? Who churns the ocean. Who churns the ocean. You know what I'm saying? And this is also in an ancient Japanese mythology dealing with this masculine and feminine primordial aspects, who utilize a spear to churn Isanagi and Isanagi. It's in my mythological book. They churn the ocean, right? And this is Menu. He represents prosperity. The combination of Menu Amin. It represents the realization and materialization of growth and prosperity. Okay, same. So this is, you can compare these two, the masculine, the feminine. I would say this encompasses masculinity and femininity, but masculine, feminine, the all that is the one. Right, all of these deities represent the same one that we've been talking about from the beginning of time, the one. Una, na, nu. That's the one. From none to the one to the many to multiplicity. Asha Harau in ancient Kemite terms and hieroglyphics. It's on that chart right there. He's the one that's laying down with his back on the cosmic serpent. The cosmic serpent is the same as the deity Sasha in the ancient Hindu religion or spirituality, where Vishnu represents the same deity as Ashat Heraru in the Kemite Egyptian deity or aspect, as the one who is basically the consciousness that's experiencing all this. He's not even doing anything. So Menu, Menu Amin symbolized the Menu, or symbolized, let me say this again. This is symbolized with Menu Amin, depicted with an erect phallus and the flail cocked over his upraised arm. It should be noted that the erect phallus is depicted near the navel of the human figure and not in the area of the genital area. Okay, and we know that the navel, see, we're dealing with the chakras. So we have the root chakra, and then we have the chakra above that, the sacral, and then we have I want to say the solar plexus, the solar chakra, okay, which I believe is the fourth. So we might have I have to go back to that and give y'all exact knowledge on that. But anyway, we're dealing with that which is right there around the solar plexus area, which is the sun, the lion, King Judah, and everything like that. So the erect phallus, okay, it is depicted near the navel of the human figure to express both the cause of fertility, which is the erect phallus, and the effect as the birth, represented by the navel. Meaning that the navel is a representation of you being born out of the womb of the divine mother, or of the earthly mother, or of the woman of the earth. You know what I'm saying? If not, then what are you? The ithyphallic Menu Amin is also known as Kamutef. In human terms, Menu or Amin represents the results of successful efforts, one who reaps what one sows. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful aspect. And if we can just understand that this top earth deity, a feminine aspect, represents pregnancy and everything like that, represented as our divine mother. See right here, this signal, this represents the belt of the girdle of Isis. Isis is none other than Aset. Aset is the throne of the soul, and Aset represents the genetics, right? Okay, the genetics that come to be from the DNA codes, and this is derived from some specific divine wisdom and intuition of some higher aspect. Okay, So when you get a chance, you study that, the girdle of Isis, the belt of Isis, I think it's called, and then you go and read Secrets, no, Isis Unveiled by Helen Blavatsky, and just check it out. I mean, it'll just blow you away. This is none other than the symbolic. I have her on my wall, the Great Mother. Okay, the Great Mother. It's beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, that's men. This deity right here, I think, represents DNA as well. This deity right here is Hecate. Okay, Hecate or Hecate, Heka. Now, Hecate or Heket, as I told you, Heket with the T is the feminine aspect. Now, let's understand something. Heket has the symbol of a frog-headed deity, and the frog-headed deity is derived, brought down from the primordial existence of those primordial entities of chaos, or in that chaotic abyss known as the Nunu, who bring forth Nunu as a one, right? Because they represent the zero, the Nun, the none, and they are 8. And then they come out in the manifestation as the 7 and the 8, or the 8, then the 7, then the 6, and the 5, then the 4, then the 3, then the 2, then the 1 down here, who represents the individual, which is you. Hecate. Okay, and then the ancient primordial deities, their heads were frogs and snakes. Okay, frogs and snakes. Now, so I believe, and she has the symbol of life holding her hand, held in her hand, in both of them. One shown pointing downward, one shown pointing upward. So what I can do real quick, and I hope that y'all are still with me. Hope I'm born, because it's just so much information. What I could do real quick, I'm one of them awakened ones. See what I'm saying? Let me just draw this, because you'll never get away from the pyramid. You'll never get away from the Perank, the light, or the lighthouse, or the house of power. You know what I mean? That's what these pyramids were. They represented stars on the earth. And the black earth, represented by the soil, was the backdrop or the space that the stars were sitting upon. Okay? And then that is derived and coming forth as the dark matter, dark energy substance that the scientists are coming to find out today is representative of coming out of some type of quantum realm. And this is dealing and representative of melanin. Okay? Because we're dealing with intelligence. Okay? Now, Hecate. I'm going to draw this. Let me see. And then I'll draw this beside it. Okay. See, you have the as above, so below. As above, so below. Now, remember what I told you about the frog deities, the DNA, the amino acids, the chromosomes, the new pro-melanin that they saying, which they were saying in 1998, that these were coming online and that they were actual intelligence that have functions. So I'll just say that they were new pro-melanins coming online that have functions for and within the DNA. Okay? As above, so below. As above, so below. Now we know what this is. This is the Star of David. This is the, I think what they call the tetrahedron. This is the 6-pointed star. Okay, it also represents, let me put that right there. 6-pointed star also represents carbon. Okay, carbon molecule. Now the carbon molecule has 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons. 666. Okay? Understand what I'm saying to y'all. So they've created that to be and represent the beast. The beast. The coming beast too. The one, the whore of Babylon's child. Okay? The whore of Babylon is represented as well by this, because the whore of Babylon represents the soul who is actually trapped within that Babylon empire, who is being raped, molested. This is your soul being raped, molested, tortured. It's going through the passion. Because Christ represents the soul, and it's going through the passion and this reality, the consciousness that wants to come in and wake the soul up to bring about a better existence in this physical reality, and to bring it up to a higher vibrations, to bring up to the fifth or sixth dimensions and things of that nature, or nectar. This is a nectar. This is a part of nature, all derived from the concept of who Ta-Earth is, whose downwardly vibrational aspect, another aspect of Ta-Earth, the Divine Mother, is Isis. This is why they put this. This is why they put this as your dollar bill, right here, because this is Isis, right? This is Isis. You have the two bars with the S represented as the serpent, and the two being representative as the serpent represents the fact that there's actually two S's overlapping or overcoiling each other, like DNA. Okay? Now, so here it is, or Isis, which is Aset, which is the throne of Asar, which is the soul. So the soul sits on DNA, and the DNA is in giving the soul intuition to wake up in the reality and things like that. So much going on. So, in order for, and this means, of course, it's a dollar sign. They put "In God We Trust" on it. It's a horrible spell that has been cast upon, especially the black people, but it's been cast upon whole society to be slaves, 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 slaves. As a matter of fact, you can take this S, you can take this as an L, you can take this as an A, and as a V, and another S, and you'll get the word slave and slaves out of it. And that's how they do spells and shit. But the shamans and the ancient kings can go down meditation-wise, using ayahuasca or doing whatever they can do, mantras and everything, to go down into these microcosmic realms, which you are the god of, and get communication and information from these forms of intelligences, which I have a reason to believe are the melanins. Okay? It's crazy. Study the pineal gland and what it secretes. Now, carbon, David, the lion, Judah, Sekhmet, okay? Herukuti, the Sphinx. It's all in this. It's all in this. The spaceships and shit. It's all in this. This is the Merkabah as well. This, the book of life, the spaceship and shit. The Akashic realms. Now, they always say, now what do frogs do when they move? They don't walk. They don't walk. All right? They don't walk. They either float on petals on the water, which they call, I forgot what they call them, lily pads or whatever. They're green looking things. And then there you have mythologies of the princess kissing the frog, who was going to be the prince and things like that, which is awakening the frog, true self and shit. It's all in your mythology too. It's in the kids' fairy tales and shit. So, as above, so below, it's the frog. What did it do? What did I say all this shit was dealing with? Dark matter, melanin, all that shit. We have Hapi up here. Okay. DNA. What do frogs do? They make leaps. They leap. So, spiritual symbology is telling you through intuition that Hecate represents quantum leaps. Quantum leaps. Quantum realm, quantum leaps. The Duat realm, the realm of Aminta, back to the god Men. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with a lot of shit here, y'all. So, Hecate represents conception. Okay? Conception. Concepts, ideas, and everything. We can go back to the book, The Hermetic Code, when I was telling you about the memes and the mimicking. And the memes represented by concepts and ideas that are embedded in the human psyche that last for, they basically are immortal, and that they basically help. They are like metaphysical genes, and they help the DNA through higher consciousness evolve and become higher aspects, and you become higher aspects of wisdom on the earth. You become wiser and wiser, which is what Homo sapien actually is. Okay? Right? And they are trickling down, the energies, okay, are trickling down through the rays. This is you, and they are trickling down. This is the macrocosmic you. This is the microcosmic you down here. And they are trickling down these concepts, these ideas, these spiritual awakenings and things like that. And what is happening is, on particular levels, the elite people in the rebellious forces trying to stop it from coming down. Creating barriers and shit. I just seen something. A white orb. Creating barriers and or a sparky light orb. Okay, I just seen this shit. Creating barriers and shit, and they trying to stop you from that information trickling down. Okay, so and this is all dealing with your endocrine system, your central nervous system, your spinal column, and your chakras and all that. And that's where that's the key. That's the key, y'all. This is how we're going to evolve, no matter what. They can try to stop us all they want to. That's how we're going to evolve. Because our supreme being, which we know as the creative force behind all this stuff, is going to get us through this. You can call it God. You can call it Hecate. You can call it Isis. You can call it Mehert. You can call it Allah. You can call it Ahura Mazda. You can call it the Shinto coming through, the spirits of the Japanese spirituality. Call it whatever you want to. Now, you got to understand and open your mind, because I'm telling y'all where I'm coming from. There's a lecture by Reverend Phil Valentine called Genetic Ascension. YouTube it, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. He did this in 2001, if I'm not mistaken, though. I'm not them. I'm not Bobby Hammett, Double Blair, none of them. I'm not them. I'm just me. And I'm coming to you 2015, letting you know Bobby Hammett, he didn't had a stroke. I hope he's getting better. You know, Dr. Richard King, he had a stroke and passed away. And our elders are either retiring from this, or they are retiring from this realm and making a transition. And we need to continue on. We need to sacrifice our time and continue on with this, man. You know what I'm saying? I could be doing hip-hop music right now, recording this shit in the back in my studio, but I have to sacrifice sometimes, man, and deliver these messages. I realize this is what I have to do now. You know what I mean? This is a higher will coming down on me, giving y'all this. I'm not saying that I'm shy, you know, but I don't really plan on and haven't really planned on speaking in front of a bunch of people about this stuff. But somebody might end up asking me to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you do, then hey, bless you, brother, and we're going to, you know, many virtues. Virtues are like the children of the soul doing good deeds and things like that out here in this world. And these become your virtues. These are like your little children. You know what I'm saying? And so just study virtues and study what virtues are. So when somebody sneezes, I say virtue. Or, instead of saying bless you, I say virtuous or virtue. You know, they don't understand, whatever. I'm on another level. Back to Hecate and the god of the leaping DNA evolving into higher aspects of life and evolution and consciousness. Pour libation to Hecate. I actually, before my daughter was born, Camila, who is amazing because, see, one of my guardian angels, I come to find out, is Kamael. And so I literally, we was actually choosing to name her different names, and Camila became what it was. For me, Camila means black goddess, or goddess of dark matter, dark energy. And she is a goddess on this earth, and she's amazing. My daughter, she'll be 5 next year. Okay. I was pouring libations of wine, and I hung a picture up before she was born. And Camila was born natural birth, in Tays Valley, West Virginia, in a bathtub like the ancient Kemites used to do. But she was not standing. My wife wasn't standing up, but it was natural. Soon we took her home the same day. You know, everything. So she is very intelligent in my eye, and everything like that. But quantum physics, quantum mechanics, this is where they're going to right now. This is Hecate. Now, Hecate represents conception and procreation, right? Procreation. And remember what I told you. See, creation, melanin is creation. So, remember pro-melanin. And Google it. NCBI website. I.e., she is the source of life. Procreation. She is the source of life. What is DNA? If you don't believe me, excuse me. What is DNA if you don't believe me, man? It is Hecate or Hecate is depicted as a frog-headed woman or as a frog. And that's what I actually had hung up, was the actual frog image. I just printed out an image of a finding that they found in one of the tombs or one of the places out there. It's a figure of Hecate as the frog. And frogs always appeared in large numbers just before the annual flooding of the Nile. And we know that frogs aspect before them becoming the four-limbed being is it look like sperm, all right, like a little serpent. And we got a symbol of the snake deity or the serpent deity. It looked just like that, see? And this is the DNA symbology right here. It makes quantum leaps. Because you say quantum because you can't see it. It's on the quantum realm. Hecate, this might be the longest video yet. They could probably gonna get longer and longer. Hecate is associated with Khnum. Khnum is the one who sits on the potter's wheel and creates the bodies or the clay doubles or the Kas of the ones who come into birth, into existence, okay, into this physical reality. And that Ka is with you. As soon as you become conceived, that Ka is conceived. But the Ka carries a primordial substance that has been conceived since the beginning of time. And that's what they don't want you to know. And that's what you got. And that's what is helping us to awaken. It's called the Ka. And the word Ka is in Hecate. If I took off the T, it would just be Heka or Heke or Hek or Heka. Right? And anyway, we're going to keep going. So, they appeared in large numbers, all right, just before the annual flooding of the Nile. Okay? Now, Hapi, deity right here, represents advanced and therefore is usually portrayed as a fleshy human with pendulous breasts bearing heavily laden offering tables. Hapi carries the lotus and papyrus emblems, symbols of the two lands, up and down, as above, so below. Neither plant is native to any specific area in Egypt, meaning the lotus and the papyrus, which represents the two lands. And you would have the pharaohs or kings wearing the double crown, represent the two lands of Egypt. And then you would have the god Men have the two plumes on his head, and they represent the two levels of the two sides of the brain, or the consciousness levels, you know what I'm saying, of awakening, or the two lands. Okay? There's more about the two lands on page 22 of this book, Egyptian Divinities, by Mustafa Gadala. All right? True of Voice, Mahat Keru. All right? He calls the lost Egyptians the Badali, I believe, or Badali, or whatever. But we know who the ancient Kemites are. Sometimes two Hapis are shown in the symbolic rites related to the ceremony of unity of the two lands. Okay, the unity of the two lands. Similar such representations show other Nektaru, right? uniting the two lands such as Heru and Tehuti. See that on page 80. Uniting the two lands, they will call it Smautawi. Okay, and this is dealing with what they know in Hindu as the yoga, the yoga practitioners, the yogis. All right, they unite the inner with the outer, the upper with the lower. Okay, this is dealing with the exercising of your chakras, the meditations, the visualization exercises, and things like that. Now, frog amulets were and are popular for fertility because of the frog's prolific nature. And that's all it's saying right there about that. It's just so much, man. It's just so much, you know. I just wanted to read a little bit about this. Okay. Now, you know, the video is getting too long. I want to stop it, come back to some more stuff. But I just want y'all to focus on Hecate. Think about her, right? She's an aspect of the one divinity, the one. Christians call God. Some people call Theos. Some people call just the creative force behind everything. Amun Ra. Hidden to manifest, Amun Ra. And there's many names you can go by. Feminine, masculine, which is up to you. It's all up to you. It's your path that you following. This is your experiential. This is your life that you living. You see? So it's for you. It's not for anybody else to come in and tell you, hey, well, this is what you experience and that's what that is. No, you wake up your own self, that is your soul within, who knows about all this stuff and can help you get through it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with that being said, now, before I go, I just want you to know that there's a book I ran into when I went to Charlotte, to Greensboro, to go to the aquarium and things like that. Pretty decent aquariums, okay. And we ran into a used bookstore that we didn't even mean to run into, because we was trying to run into and get Chipotle, that restaurant. And I hadn't realized it. We walked into Chipotle after finding what we found. We walked into Chipotle, and I looked on the wall and seen all these Mayan hieroglyphics for different letters and words. And I had actually been studying the Mayans and the fact that most ancient Mayans were blacks. And you can see that on the walls, and they have braids and everything like that. And that, you know, we was dealing with some synchronization going on, okay? Because what happened was we was trying to look for Chipotle. It was on the other side. And we ran into a bookstore. It's a used bookstore. I think it's called Ed McKay's or McKay's Bookstore. Used books. You can go online and buy the books too. And it's the same store that's in Manassas in Virginia, where my wife's sister lives. And I had been there, got a bunch of books up there. And so, lo and behold, during this whole time, I had been studying Nibiru too. So I ran into two books. I ran into the Numa Elish, which I have down there. And then I ran into this book called We Are the Nibirians. Okay? And it has this frame, this pillar of, it's like a portal, right? And it's a book 1 by Jalila Star. And this book was written by a Caucasian lady who basically relinquished her ego so that a spiritual entity could come in by the name of Jalila Star, I think in her 20s. And she says that they are part of the line of Amelius, and that they are actually the creators of the world. You know, it's just crazy. But I took this, because Spirit led me to this, and I decoded the book. One of the first books that I actually completely decoded. And, you know, I mean, I got shit everywhere in this book where I've made all kind of notes and shit because I deciphered it. You see what I'm saying? they talking about all kind of shit. You see, and I just put all kind of notes. I got everything going on, and so maybe I could go and do a whole. And here's a chapter right here called walk-ins, and that's what I was referring to about how she basically said that another deity walked into her life or whatever, but it was her all along. And I was experiencing epiphanies because I said, well, I feel like this happened to me. When I say I came into a new awareness of things. And just real quick, there have been many walk-ins on earth, and there are many here now. You may be one of them. Walk-ins come into adult bodies most of the time. You have to understand what I'm trying to get y'all to understand here, or overstand, whatever. Because this is dealing completely with, and you can study the Rosicrucian knowledge and everything. This is dealing with the newborn deity within within you, the soul coming to be born within and to live, and the adulthood. And the ancient Kemites said that you were not an adult until the age of 30, and 30, which is 29 point something, is the actual, rounded up to 30, is the actual years of orbit that it takes for Saturn to make a complete rotation around the sun, or to make a if I'm not mistaken, it takes 29.5 years for the sun, Saturn to go around the sun, like we take 365 days. And when it does that in your astrological chart, that means that you are now a grown person. And Saturn, one of the most ancient deities, represents time, represents the ancient primordial soot. That's where they get the word soot, sat, from. And there's a book called The Holy Science. Okay? Let me see. Called The Holy Science. Where's the book? Where's the book? Please let me find the book. It's called The Holy Science, y'all. 1 second. If I can find the book, give me 1 second. Just bear with me here real quick. The Holy Science. The book is so skinny that I should have just left it out. It's kind of hard to find sometimes. The Holy Science. I don't think I can find it. I have it. I just wanted to read the author's name to y'all. The Holy Science. I got it. Sorry. Hope y'all, they don't have my big butt in your face, my little butt in your face. The Holy Science by Yukteswar Giri. Okay? Right here. You can order this book on Amazon. I paid very little for this book. And let me see here. Page 1. The very first page. Okay? Now, this is what it says. Because I was telling y'all about Saturday, the ancient primordial soot, the ancient meaning for hidden means Shitau, and Shitau nectar represents the hidden one, which is basically the one behind all that is. Okay? And it's an ancient Kamite, metaphysical, Gnostic, esoteric wisdom and axiom. The eternal Father God, Swami Parambrahma, is the only real substance. And we know that when you look at Para Brahma, we're dealing with the higher Brahma, the Brahma above the physical reality, above all this shit. Para Brahma, as you say when you say paranormal. So you think about Abraham, you think about him being a real person who existed on the planet. No, we're dealing with Ab Ra Ham. Ham is black, represents the aspects of the hidden one, or your skin color, or the neuromelanin within you, or on your DNA. Ab is your heart, and Ra is the creative or the life force, the spark that got the heart beating right now and all that. You know what I'm saying? Which is actually behind Ra is a divine motherly aspect that's within that heart. And this is an intelligence that's keeping everything going on within you. Okay? Set is also in the ancient deity Isis's real name, Aset. Okay, and the hieroglyphics are the symbol of the eye and the symbol of a throne, which looks like a throne, and it can also look like a staircase or a step. So, the eternal Father God, Swami Para Brahma, is the only real substance, Sat. S-A-T. Okay? And is all in the universe. And is all in the universe. Now, this book says Egyptian divinities, the all who are the one. Okay? And on this front, you have Khnum. Okay? Standing on a symbol for Ma'at, or justice or power. And then you have what seems to be Neptes, symbolized by her headdress. Her headdress spells her name, Nepthet. Okay, and then Aset, symbolized here. This is her name, and they are basically, this symbol right here means something. I just can't remember, and they are basically sustaining the creator, or sustaining Khnum. This is also representative of Auasati, or Auaseti, right? Which has the word Set in it. And, or no, this is Auaseti right here. And then this would be Nept-Hotep, Lord of Peace. And that's feminine. You see, it's feminine. So the word Lord is actually feminine. The word He, which is Hebrew letter Hay, or Hey, symbolizes one with his hands raised, right? The ancient symbol of it. You study your Hebrew lexicon for the letter Hay, H-E-I, or H-E-Y, and shows to have someone looking at something that's surprisingly beautiful or exciting or whatever. And that is the same symbol that they use in ancient Kemet for the Ka. Okay, for the Ka. Well, this deity's name is Khanum. See? Represented by the horns and the disc, where the solar or lunar. It can mean both if it's got this orb with this white, but it could represent that light, that life force. Same deity as Ra, basically. So, there it is. And then when you go to this book, okay, chapter 1, the Gospel, the Holy Science, by Yukteswar Giri, he says in the first line of the book, after the introduction, the eternal Father God, Swami Parambrahma, is the only real substance. The only real substance. We know that most of the material world that we live in, the universe, is only 4% matter. If not 1% matter. And then the rest is dark matter and dark energy. Well, that is the real substance. Okay? And it is all in the universe. It is all in the universe, meaning that it is all in the universe. It is everything that the universe is and all that the universe has in it. Man possesses eternal faith and believes intuitively. This is an Aset principle, a divine motherly principle. Man possesses eternal faith and believes intuitively in the existence of a substance of which the objects of sense, the shit that we see out here, sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell, the component parts of the visible world, you know, my ears and shit, are but properties. All they are properties. Properties of the real substance. Properties of the divine spirit. The spiraling, coiling, you know, aspiration of beingness. That's why they say spirit, according to my understanding. As man identifies himself with his material body, composed of the aforesaid properties, the senses, he is able to comprehend by his imperfect organs these properties only, and not the substance to which these properties belong to. That's why they're called properties, because they belong to the real substance. The eternal Father God, the eternal Mother God, the only substance in the universe is, therefore, not comprehensible by man of this material world. The average you and me, the ego, the one who say, I gotta, I'm hungry and shit. Unless he becomes divine, there it is. Unless there's not an end, you're just not gonna comprehend it. No, you don't comprehend the shit unless you become divine by lifting. I'll just continue saying verbatim. Unless he becomes divine by lifting his self above this creation of darkness, Maya, Vidi, or Vid, which is in the Hebrew chapter 9, verse 1, and John chapter 8, verse 28. He gives sources that you can go back to. And the verse says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It's amazing. I mean, this book goes on and on, you know what I'm saying? For instance, the almighty force, Shakti, or in other words, the eternal joy, Ananda, which produces the world, and the through the desire of the eternal joy, and the omniscient, there it is. This means that you were there before the body. This sentientness that you cling to, which is basically the knowledge of self. The omniscient feeling, sheet or heat or keet, chit, which is the same word in the ancient Kemetic tree of life called the Chit and Ankh, or Chit and Ankh, chit. This could also be said to be the Shit and Ankh, or the Shut and Ankh, the tree of life. Sut represents the real substance in the tree of life. Tree of life represents the macrocosmic, microcosmic, atom cadmic, deity, you, I, universe. Okay? Which makes this world conscious. So there's an omniscient feeling which makes this world conscious called Hit or Shit or Hit. Chit, however you want to say it. Demonstrate the nature, which is called Prakriti, of God the Father. Now, this means that the eternal Father God has a nature that they call Prakriti. This means that Prakriti is actually the real, it is the mother of the substance. It is the mother of the real substance. This is none other than Ta'ert. So what you have to do is you have to decode the books and have to decipher them with your higher consciousness, because we're dealing with people who were in certain spiritual sects, cults, dogmas, religions, whatsoever. And they'll say that the eternal Father God is the real substance. But this real substance is what the eternal Father is clinging on to be his identification. That real substance, which he is claiming to be his identification, the eternal God Father, is its own. It is its own. It is its own. That which is called the real substance. It is its own. The first intelligence comes by and says, "That's me, and I am that. Therefore, I am what that is, and therefore I control that, and therefore I, whatever creates out of that, that's what I'm controlling over." And that's what you get the Marduk battling with his mother, Tiamat. That's in the Enuma Elish. That's the Ra. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with Zeus battling Typhon. Typhon is Sut. Sut would be the son of the mother. You see? It's the very first aspects of of spiritualism was the son of the mother, and you see that right here on my wall with Heru Het, holding Heru. That's why she's called Heru Het, and Heru Het has the same helmet or hat, or Heru, I mean Heru, the baby that she's holding. She represents the cosmos, the feminine aspect of the logos, or Tehuti. The same hat that is on Heru's head is on this dude right here, who was an actual person by the name of Taharqa, who came in and took over the 18th dynasty of Egypt. He came out of Nubia and took it over, claiming that, you know, that was their land in the first place a long time ago, and that's why southern Egypt is actually north or upper, and the southern Egypt is in the north. So there's some evidence there, you know what I'm saying? Because they clearly, and this is dealing during the time of the Amun religion, which is dealing with the Kanun thing, because we have the ram head and thing like that, the ram's head and things like that. That's why you know that when you read the Bible and the whole thing about Moses and stuff, and you know, he represents the ram or the Aries age. So we know that he wasn't a real person, and because they're delivering you a formula of metaphysics and Gnosticism that's dealing with an age that existed before, if he would have even lived. You see, that's why they put it in the Old Testament, to put it before, you know, 33 BC and everything like that, so it could be hundreds of years before that. I guess up to 6,000, up to what 4,000 years before his birth, Christ's birth. I don't know, you know. But it's just so much, man. The video is becoming, I think, too long, so I'm gonna have to stop. Okay, got mad information to hit y'all with. You know what I'm saying? I just want to read this one part, because after that, I told you about the Father having the nature of Prakriti as consciousness, basically. But anyway, and that's feminine. As man is the likeness of God, directing his attention inwards, he can comprehend within him the said force and feeling, the soul properties of his self. The force almighty as his will, basana, with enjoyment, bohoga, or bhoga, B-H-O-G-A, and the feeling omniscient as his consciousness, meaning that your consciousness that you have is omniscient. The feeling of it. His consciousness, Shetana. Now, C-H-E-T-A-N-A. Chetana, Katana, Shetana, it's the same shit. And they want to come out with these deities, Sanat Kumara, Santana, Satanana, and shit, and have you following these deities, talking about they coming back and they giving you blonde hair, blue-eyed deities from higher celestial hierarchies, and you supposed to follow them because they are the ones who coming back from the Galactic Federation and shit like that. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing out here, man. That's all dealing with your inner shit and your inner workings within you. All that shit is happening within. Even if you see something out there, it's still happening within. You know what I mean? That's the only way you're going to be able to travel anywhere out there is within. You're not going to be able to travel in no exterior spaceship that they cover the top of it with melanin. It's just so much. Anyway, his consciousness, Shetana, that enjoys Bhokta, B-H-O-K-T-A. You can go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. So God created man in his own image. God in Hebrew, Elohim. In the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them. I'm going to have to stop because I can go on and on and on. On and on and on. So, I'm going to end it. I hope I gave y'all some information. I went all the way from Michael Jackson's dreams to the fact that this is actually who you really are. These are actually different realms that you can travel to. So in one of these realms is the dream realm. And you have to become a type of conscious within that realm to actually get anything out of it. Just like in this realm, this awakening state. Everything out here is bullshit, really. You have to become awakened to get what you can out of it before you leave it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. But they're going to use this against you, which is your own power, which is your own self. They use your own self against you. Call your own self the devil and shit. Your own self ain't the devil. Your own self is the real deal. It's now 12:34. I'm going to have to holler at y'all. Think about what, study, research every damn thing that y'all don't believe what I was saying. Alright? Hotep.